Shiva Naresh Kumar. Please enter with your register number. Shiva Naresh Kumar, enter with your register number.
Okay, sir.
Please zoom, sir.
Prashant Kumar. Please enter with your register number.
Prashant Kumar.
Ravant. Please join with your register number, not with your name.
Prashant Kumar Goda, sir.
And Srikant Pavan Kumar. Srikant Pavan Kumar.
Prashant Kumar.
Prashant Kumar. Enter with your register number, Prashant Kumar. Those who are having names, please enter with your register numbers.
Sir, Prashant Kumar Goda name cheyaledu.
Prashant Kumar. Please enter with your register number. Otherwise, you will not having any attendance. You please, already many number of times I mentioned. Please enter with your register numbers. Not with your names. Enter with your register number.
Sir, my voice is slow, sir.
Right.
Sorry, sir.
Please accept one or two persons. Accept number 2. Remaining people, please mute yourself. Okay. Okay. A very good morning to one and all. So very good morning. Okay, right. So in the last class, we already right. So in the last class, we already discussed about the some of the important terms regarding of the sliding contact bearing, and also uh, right, and also some of the important relations already we discussed in the last class. In addition to that, we also discussed the design procedure of your sliding contact bearing. Now in this class, we directly go for the formulas what we are using. Right. So directly we are using the very good morning. Right. So in this class, we directly discussing about the some of the important relations that you are using in your sliding contact bearing, and then next we have to move to the your rolling contact bearings, right? Okay, fine. Still some of the people are entering, Amma. Right. Okay. Right, fine. So in the last class, we already discussed about the coefficient of friction, right? McKee investigation. We observed a McKee investigation. In McKee investigation, we draw a graph between coefficient of friction and Zn by P. Now we are having the relation. So this is the relation of coefficient of friction. We already observed on the screen. That is mu equal to 33 by 10 power 8 into Zn by P into D by C plus K. So this is very, very important point. And before we are explaining this relation, one thing you have to understand. So all these relations are, that means the name is same, but the notations are different. You please observe that. In your data book, I already told you that prescribedly, if it is available, you please purchase the Jalaluddin textbook, or you can download, right? Jalaluddin textbook or some other machine design data book. Usually Jalaluddin or PSG design data book is preferable. If it is not available, any other data book can be used. There is no restriction. In your examination, it is your choice. It is your choice. And one more thing is, another important point is, the notations are different. Now please mute yourself. Some of the persons are mute yourself. Right. So it is your choice to select your own data book. No problem. But thing is, understanding the notations is very, very important. The notations are varied from textbook to textbook. That is the reason why I'm clearly mentioning coefficient of friction. You please read the name and the symbol also. That is also very, very important. So coefficient of friction here is mu, and Zn by P and D by C. I already mentioned in the last class, you have to equate your value with Zn by P equal to K, right? Right here, mu is the coefficient of friction, and Zn, P and D are the parameters we already discussed in your LA classes, right? So already L by D ratio plays a very, very important role, right? Right. So K is the factor to correct for the end leakage. It depends upon the ratios of the length to the diameter of the bearing. Right. Now, in your data book, what is the thing you have to be considered? You please observe in this chart. Just simply I will explain what are the things in this particular table. In this particular table, same table will be available in your data book also. Same things will be available. But the names will change, or at least notations will change. You please don't worry about that. Just please understand the concept. That is important. Right. So suppose in your examination or in a given problem, if you are having a automobile and aircraft engine, right? Suppose your bearing is to be designed, based on for automobile and aircraft engine, then I already told you that what is the maximum pressure is to be calculated and L by D ratio is to be calculated, or you have to be considered. Available in data book. That is the point we already discussed in your last class in design pressure of sliding contact bearing, right? L by D ratio and bearing pressure calculations, heat generation, heat dissipation, all those things. So same thing here. Suppose in your examination or in your what we call in your, suppose you want to design a bearing, bearing. Specifically, the application is mentioned. If suppose the application is mentioned, right? Then you have to select according to your given data. According to your given data. Suppose L value, D value is not mentioned. L value, D value is not mentioned. Then directly you can consider bearing pressure value from this case. So in this case, bearing pressure value is 5.6 to 12. You please observe on the screen. The bearing pressure value is 5.6 to 12. In between, you can consider your own value, no problem. 5.6 to 12. It may be 6, it may be 7, it may be 8. As per your convenience, no problem. Right? That is a important consideration you have to observe. Right? And second point is, here, suppose your viscosity value is not mentioned in your given problem. Viscosity value is not mentioned for a lubricant. Then directly you can consider those value from this table, 0.007 kg per meter second. Likewise, C by D ratio or L by D ratio values. These values are to be considered according to your given problem. These values are to be considered according to your given problem. Whichever the value is not mentioned, those values simply you can consider from this table. This table is also available in your data book also, no problem. Right? So how you supposed to consider, these values, I'm explaining them. Right? So please observe the given data while you're solving the problem. You please observe the given data. According to the given data, whichever the value is to be assumed, those values to be considered from this table. Right? So in the given table, already almost all the formulas are mentioned. No problem. Zn by P, L by D ratio, C by D, maximum bearing pressure, P value. All the things are available. No need to remember. Simply just copy and paste. But thing is, very, very important point. Knowing the parameter is very, very important. If you are not able to understand, or if you are not understanding the basic terminology, then it is very, very difficult. Because I will tell you that in a design data book, the terminology are varied, or maybe symbols are varied. In that particular case, you may experience some difficulty by picking up values. That is the reason why I consider this table. Right? So application is very, very important, and based on the application, you can select bearing pressure value, viscosity value, Zn by P value, or C by D value, L by D value, whatever you are required for that particular problem. Right? So this is very, very important table, and design consideration values also you have to consider from this table only. Because almost all the parameters are available. Z value, Zn by P value, right? And L by D ratio value, C by D ratio values. Almost all the values are available in the table. Right? So please don't post any message on your chat box, Amma, because all these things are recorded. Right? So all these things are to be recorded. If you have any doubt, I will give you a time, and then definitely you have to ask your own doubt, or at least you have to post your doubt on your chat box, then I will solve to everyone. Okay? మీలో మీద ఒకరు అనుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. No need to worry. Right? So this is the case, Amma. So this is how you will observe on your data book. Same things will be available in your, in your data book also. Right? Right. So you have to move on further. So each and every application is available. 4-stroke and marine steam engines, stationary, slow speed steam engines, high speed steam engines, reciprocating pumps, and all those, everything, whatnot, everything is available. Everything is available. Right. Next. So here, another important point is you directly observe that Sommerfeld number. Sommerfeld number is very, very important number. So Sommerfeld number is a very, very important number. It is a dimensionless parameter. It is extensively used in design of a journal bearing. So you can use this Sommerfeld number. So what is the formula for Sommerfeld number is already mentioned, Zn by P into D by C square. Right? So here I am trying to explain what are the things you are available, especially in a sliding contact bearing. According to your type of problem or type of your design, you can estimate the type of friction, or you can estimate the amount of heat generation, you can estimate the amount of heat dissipated, right? And cooling methods, all those things can be calculated. How you supposed to calculate it can be taken from these tables, right? So this is a Sommerfeld number. And one more point is each and every parameters have some standard notations and some standard units. According to that only you have to follow. Again, you need not to convert. Suppose your Z value will be in kg per meter second. Definitely you have to substitute your value in terms of kg per meter second only, right? If the values are available in other units like your Stokes or Seibold viscometer, simply have to convert into this kg per meter second. So you will observe while you are having problem, right? While you are solving the problem, definitely we will observe all these things. So before that, you have to please keep it this point in your mind. Next, I already mentioned that heat generated in a general bearing. So amount of heat generated in a bearing can be calculated as Q equal to mu into W into V into N. So where mu is the quotient of friction and N is the load, right? So the units are joule per second or watts. You have to calculate, right? Due to the friction, you are having amount of heat generation. So how much amount of the heat is generated? Those things can be calculated by using this relation. Qg is the amount of heat generated. So Qg is the amount of heat generated, right? Qg equal to mu into W into V, right? So all these things are already came across while you're calculating your thermal loads and all these things, right? If not, no problem. Simply just note down the values, no problem. But here the thing is, we are directly incorporating the values. All these proofs or all those things are available in your LA class or your coming semesters or whatever it is, right? Right. Now, right. Next. Now, amount of heat dissipated, amount of heat generated, and amount of heat dissipated. Both the things are very, very important. Now, amount of heat dissipated can be calculated as Ca into Tb minus Ta. Tb minus Ta, joule per second or watt. Right? The units are joule per second or watt. So this is also very, very important. Based on these two relations only, we can estimate whether you are requiring a natural cooling or artificial cooling. Right? Right. So where C is called as the heat dissipation coefficient. The units are watt per meter square per degree centigrade. Units are very, very important. According to that only you have to substitute. Right. Again, I'm clearly mentioning. So area is A is the projected area, and TV is the temperature of the bearing surface, and TA is the temperature of the surroundings. Right. And here some standard values are available for ventilated bearings and unventilated bearings. So already these things are available in your data book. No need to worry. Just simply remember the relation. What is the amount of heat generated and what is the amount of heat dissipated, right? Okay, fine. Now the thing is already these are the things we are having in case of your sliding contact bearing. Normally we are using these kind of relations only. Normally, right? Right. Now directly we move to the. So what is the another important bearing we are having, that is rolling contact bearing. So directly we move on to the rolling contact bearing without any wasting of your time. Right. So how you are visible right now? Those who are not visible, please raise your hand. This is rolling contact bearing. Right. Okay. Right. So this is the rolling contact bearing. So I already mentioned that we are having two important types of bearings in your syllabus: sliding contact bearing and rolling contact bearing. So till now we are discussed about the sliding contact bearing. Now we have to move to the rolling contact bearings. Now what is the difference between sliding contact and rolling contact? Means it is classification is based on according to your contact, type of contact. If it is a sliding, means it is a sliding contact bearing, and if it is a rolling, means it is a rolling contact bearing, right? That is the first observation. Next, second observation is already mentioned that in a sliding contact bearing, you are having more amount of the lubrication is required because more amount of the heat is generated and more amount of the lubrication is required in a rolling contact bearing. Sorry, sliding contact bearing. But in case of rolling contact bearings, we are having very less amount of the friction, so lubrication is also very a small amount is required, right? In case of a rolling contact bearing. And another important point is this rolling contact bearing is also called as the anti-friction bearing. So this is important objective question. You can say that because right, you can easily say that it is anti-friction bearing. Rolling contact bearings is also called as a anti-friction bearing. Anti-friction bearing means here the friction generated is very less. Amount of heat generated is also very less, right? So that it is called as a rolling contact bearing, right? Now, before we are moving to the advantages and disadvantages of sliding contact bearings and rolling contact bearings, just we have to simply observe that we already discussed the sliding contact bearing. Now we are in the rolling contact bearing. Again, in the rolling contact bearings, we are having. So first one is you are having based on your balls and based on your rollers, ball bearings and roller bearings. In a rolling contact bearings, you are having. Right. Now, if you observe these three bearings, ball bearings and roller bearings and what we call sliding bearings, in what aspect we are using? In what aspects we are using? That means in what aspect means, in the last class, we have considered a graph in a McKee investigation based on your coefficient of friction and based on your Zn by P value. Here I am considering only, if you draw a graph between coefficient of friction and what we call speed, only two factors if I am consider, only two factors if I am consider, and based on the speed is the main criteria. Based on the speed is the main criteria. Then you can observe that, the ball bearings are used for slow speed applications or slow speeds. The ball bearings are used for slow speeds. And the roller bearings are used for, you can say that, medium speed. And for sliding contact bearings are for high speed. This is very important. This is very important observation, right? So if you consider only speed, speed is a criteria because Z and N and P are the main parameters we can consider in case of a what we call as a roller bearings. Sorry, what we call not estimating the friction in a McKee investigation, right? So on McKee investigation, we observe that three parameters we can consider: coefficient of friction, Z, N, and P. If I'm consider only N value, if I'm consider only N, so if you draw a graph or if you observe the things, then definitely whenever you are having a more amount of the speed, you can generate more amount of the friction, right? More amount of the speed, more amount of the friction, right? And whenever you are having a high speed, then you can generate high amount of the friction. Okay, number 25, please post your doubt, then I will clarify at the end of the session. No problem. 19 series 325, if you have any doubt, you can post your question and chat box. Definitely I will solve at the end of the class. Okay, right. So this is the what we call as the you can consider the speed according to speed wise. According to speed wise, sliding contact bearings have more speeds, high speeds application. For medium speed application, you can consider a roller bearings, and ball bearings you are having the low speed applications. If you main criteria is the speed, right? Okay, fine. Now we can directly move on to the what are the advantages and disadvantages of your rolling contact bearing over sliding contact bearing. This is very important question. So this is a very important question. Now you'll observe the advantages, each and every advantages and disadvantages one by one. Right. So advantage point you already know. General advantages you can easily mention. So general advantages is, now I am audible, Amma?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the general advantages is, general advantage, what is the general advantages? You can say that it is anti-friction bearing, low lubrication is required, right? I told you that it is used for only low speeds and medium speeds, so that, right, some applications you are having less noise is, right, less noise. Likewise, you are having general applications you can consider, right? So whatever it is, it purely depends upon the type of application, Amma. You please observe that. And one more point I am saying that here in case of a roller bearings, especially rolling contact bearings, here also depending upon the type of loading condition, radial load condition and thrust load or axial loading condition, we are having classifications based on your radial load and based on your thrust loading condition, right? Okay, fine, right. Now what is the advantages? So the advantages are here. It is a low starting and running friction except at very high speeds, right? So whenever you are having a high speed, then only you are having friction. Otherwise, we are having a low starting and running friction. See here, my point is, while you are considering, suppose I already discussed at this point in earlier classes, the bearing is to be supported both radial load condition and axial loading condition. And at the same time, if you want to design your bearing for high-end application, definitely you can design your bearing. But the thing is, you have to keep. You can keep the point that. You keep the point that. What type of application actually this is suitable? Suppose if I am my ability is only for radial condition, then it is better to design based on only radial loading condition, not for axial loading condition. But it doesn't mean that you're not supposed to design on axial loading condition, right? This point is very, very important, Amma. If I am saying that the load is to be suitable for radial loading condition, it does not mean that you are not supposed to design or you are not supposed to apply axial loading condition, right? But the main application, but the survival of that particular bearing is the capable of that particular bearing is only for radial loading condition. That is the point. Okay, right. Next, here the second point is it is ability to withstand shock loads, momentary shock loads, and accuracy of the shaft alignment, low cost of maintenance, as no lubrication is required. As I told you that while in service, no lubrication is required. So small dimensions, reliability of service, and cleanliness and all those. These are the general advantages. And you can easily write down on your own also the advantage point, especially in case of a rolling contact bearing over sliding contact bearings. Okay, right. So if you understand the concept, it's very easy to write down on your own advantage, disadvantage. No need to by heart all those things. It is very simple. Right. So disadvantage point is here. So already we are having 4 disadvantages, and main thing is more noisy at very high speeds. Like I already told you that more noisy at very high speeds. Already mentioned this point, right? Your application is for designing low speeds and medium speeds. Suppose if I want to design for high speeds, what happens? Definitely you are having some problems. Your bearing is not capable of that particular type of loading condition, right? Definitely you are having some noisy operations you are occurring. Noisy operations are occurring, right? Okay, fine. And low resistance to shock loading. That means if you are having any sudden loading conditions or anything, definitely you are having it not able to resist that particular sudden shock loading conditions or heavy shock loading conditions likewise. And more initial cost. So initial cost is high because like sliding contact bearings, you are having only slide one over the other. But in this case, we are having inner race or outer race, or balls are provided, cages are provided, right? You are having some amount of the money is to be invested. Some amount of the money is to, because you will observe in the following figures. You will observe the following figures why you have to put more amount of the cost compared that of your sliding contact bearing. Next, design of a bearing housing is complicated. So complicated is nothing but why it is complicated means here. Why it is complicated means the point is here. Normally we are using the rollers and balls here. Normally rollers and balls are we are using. So while you are designing of that particular bearing, it is very, very important point is that the particular balls or rollers are not displaced in their positions, right? Because you are placing your balls and rollers on the particular bearings in order to avoid the friction, right? In order to avoid the friction. Now, if you are having, I mean, that means while you are moving or in a running operation, if the balls are changed their positions, then automatically the impact will be on your load carrying capacity of that particular bearing. Load carrying capacity will also be affected if it keep on changing their position. If the balls or rollers are keep on changing their position, definitely the load carrying capacity the load carrying capacity will be affected. Right? Right. So some of the students, am I clear? My voice is clear? Ajad?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maybe some of the students, please check your connections. You please check your connections.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sir.
Right.
Shall we take attendance?
So the point is here, while you are placing and balls, while placing and balls, especially you yourself are taken care about the, it should not display their position on running conditions or while you are applying the loading conditions. In order to not moving their positions, you are providing some what we call as the separators from one ball to the another ball. So that automatically what happens means those balls are to be restricted on that particular positions. Then automatically the load carrying capacity is increases. So that is the reason why you're saying that the design of bearing housing is complicated. We have to take in care about of all those things. This kind of situation, especially bearing house is complicated, right? Right. Now we have to move on to the next one. Right. What is the next one means your types of rolling contact bearings. So already I told you that you have different types of rolling contact bearings, ball bearings and roller bearings. So one small announcement, Amma. Many number of students are joining and leaving the rooms because you think that we are not observing. But the point is here we are having a licensed version and we are having every report. Those who are students are leaving and those students are entering to the room, right? So please observe this point, right? You may think that we are not observing. We are simply saying that lectures and we keep on going that, but it is not like that, because in a software we are already having the information, your email IDs and your names and your register numbers and at what time you are entering the room and what time you are leaving the room, right? All those things are available. Based on that only you are having attendance, right? If you are having any technical issues, just it is a matter of 5 minutes, right? So definitely we will consider those things, right? So that is the point. Okay. Right. So you're having a ball bearings and roller bearings. You are having a classification like I told you that. Okay, fine. Now we are having in a ball bearings. Right. Now we are having based on the type of loading condition. I told you that you are having a radial bearings and thrust bearings depending upon your type of loading. Radial loads means radial bearing and axial loading means you are having a thrust bearing. Right. Now I clearly explained one type of bearing, deep groove ball bearing, single row deep groove ball bearing. If you understand this concept, then it is easy for you for the remaining bearings also, right? Okay, fine. I will explain one bearing, single row deep groove ball bearing, right? Right. Now, if you observe the given figure, a single row deep groove ball bearing, normally, so this is the side view. Normally, in a bearing, normally we are having the inner race and outer race, right? Normally we are having a inner race and outer race. Now, in inner race and outer race, in between these two races, any one of the race is to be rotated, a remaining race is fixed. It may be a inner or it may be outer, depending upon your type of application. So this is very, very important point. Why? Because means both the races are not to be rotated at a time. You please understand this point, right? You are having a inner race and you are having a outer race, right? This is the point, inner race and outer race. In between these two races, one of the race is fixed and another of the race is rotated. On what race is to be rotated depending upon the type of application. Depending upon your type of application, it is your choice. It is your choice, right? So that is the point. Now, so in a deep groove ball bearing especially, after having the inner race and outer race, we are having balls are provided, right? So balls are provided. I already told you that you are having a balls. Now, whenever you are having a balls, right? Whenever you are having a balls, after that balls, like I already told you that whenever your race is to be rotated, the ball is to be keep on changing their positions. In order to avoid that keep on changing their position, as it affects the load carrying capacity, we are providing a cages. We are providing a cages, right? Those cages kept your balls or rollers, what we call balls, at particular location, what we have prescribed, right? So that it will not displace, it will not move whenever these races are to be rotated, so that it will not affect the load carrying capacity. It will not affect the load carrying capacity. That is the point, right? So this is the of your what we call as the single load deep groove ball bearings, especially, right? So this is very, very important, and this is especially for and especially while you're selecting the balls, size of the balls and the load carrying capacity also plays a very, very important role while you are designing. Especially here, in this case of a rolling contact bearings, each and every point is important. The size of the balls and suppose if you consider the shaft carrying capacity and shaft diameters and roller diameters and all those things are plays a very, very important role. We have to keep those points also in your mind while you are designing of this particular bearing. And especially these bearings are used for high load carrying capacity and suitable for high running speeds also. High load carrying capacity, high running speeds. Again, you are having a doubt, and again you are having a doubt. If I am saying that if it is used for high running speed means, sorry, you already told you that this especially for ball bearings are used for low and medium speeds. For high speeds, you are having a sliding contact base. Again, I keep on mentioning that it is depending upon the type of application. It is depending upon the type of, normally it gives a best results in low and medium speeds, or if you take any precautionary method in order to avoiding the lubrication method, because lubrication plays a very, very important role. Suppose if you are main focus on lubrication and high speed, then definitely you can use for high speeds, no problem. Then definitely you can use for high speeds, right? So this is a very, very important point you have to be observed, especially these kind of a bearing, especially these kind of a bearing of single deep groove ball bearing, or simply you can say the deep groove ball bearings. Similarly, you are having filling notch, angular contact bearings, double row ball bearings and self-aligning bearings. So each and every bearings having different types of applications, right? So you can just simply move on one over the other. You can understand the advantages easily, right? Just simply the point is here, you'll observe that what are the things you are having in a ball bearings. That is the point, right? Already you are having a doubt. So if I am placing a balls, right, at what positions you have to place it, right? And how many number of balls you are placing, and what happens if you are changing their positions with respect to their motion or what we call speed. So I have cleared all those things. These are the main points, right? The same thing will be applied to the any type of bearing, but thing is based on the application. Some of the bearings are used for low speed applications and some of the bearings are used for high speed applications likewise. That is the only thing, right? Right, fine. So you are having filling notch bearing and angular contact bearing, right? So here filling notch bearing, you are having a since the bearing contains a large right, since the bearing is called for what we called all right, since the type of bearing contains large number of bars than a corresponding unnotched one, therefore it is has a large bearing load capacity. Likewise, we have to read out of the basic important points, basic important point, that is sufficient. No need to go in detail about what is what happening. Just simply have to concentrate on what is the point here, how you are designing the bearing. That is the important point, right? Right. Now the thing is, if you have any doubt regarding of this sliding contact bearing and rolling contact bearing, especially what I explained, just in a matter of 2 minutes, just simply have to post your question in your chat box, then I will explain. Otherwise, simply have to move to the what are the remaining series of loading conditions you are having. There is a series of loading conditions. Right. You can post your question, I will explain. Mr. Jagadish 307. You can post your question, I will explain. So please post your question, I will explain. please lower your hands and post your question. See, already okay. So some of the students are okay. I understand. Okay. Jagadish, I understand your question. See, one thing is I want to clear here is we are any automobile applications are depending upon your where you are supposed to use. So that is the reason why I clearly mentioned in the beginning of the class. I clearly mentioned that in a whether it may be a sliding contact bearing or it may be a rolling contact bearing. Right. Okay. So it is another important point here I want to mention. Right. So one by one I will explain. No problem. So one of the student is asking that why because we are having a sliding contact bearing is more friction. Why you are using those type of bearings in your applications, or especially for high speeds. One point where we have to clear here is in a sliding contact, because I already told you that sliding contact means here you have to move one over the other, then you are automatically having a friction, right? Now the point is here, suppose if it is very useful for your application, suppose in some area, suppose in automobile application or some other industry application, suppose you are design this type of bearing, one particular design you have to design, but the thing is you are experiencing a more amount of the friction. Suppose you are experiencing a more amount of the friction. On that particular case, what you supposed to do is, in order to go for a new design, simply you have to alternatively you have to think whether is there any chance or is there any other method to reducing those faults, right? So suppose if you are getting a more amount of the heat, right, then it doesn't mean that you have to shift for the another design, or you have to shift for the another type of what we call another devices, right? If at all it is suitable for that particular application, again you have to think, is there any other chances we are having to avoid those kind of failures? That is the reason why every object is having a failures and disadvantages. What you supposed to do is simply you have to overcome those disadvantages, then only we can sustain. Otherwise no object is perfectly reliable in your applications. Suppose if you design a car or something like that, right, suppose it gives efficiency of only 60% or 70%, then you can estimate what are the failures you are having that particular car or the particular machine or whatever it is. If there is any chances of overcoming of all those things, then it is very easy for you to increasing of your efficiency or increasing of your power generations or increasing of our some other benefits, right? So that is the basic point you have to understand. అంతేగాని మనకి whenever you are having a more amount of the heat, నాకు heat ఎక్కువ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది కదండి, then why we are using అంటే it doesn't like that అమ్మ, because your application is suitable for that particular case. It is a capability of reducing the friction. If you arrange some arrangements, it can reduce the friction, right? If you're having the low cost and all those things, then definitely you can prefer it, right? Or otherwise, if it is required more amount of the more cost, right, then automatically you can avoid all those things, right? Whenever if you have any chance of increasing performance, then only you can apply. So every machine is having disadvantages, right? Then alternately you have to choose for the simple example. You are having your what we call your bikes or all those things. Whenever it get heat generated, what happens? Simply you have to put it in a service, right? Automatically we are giving it a service, right? Or any other oil changes or any other lubrication methods they are applied, then automatically your machine runs smoothly, right? It doesn't mean simply you have to use and throw off your machine because of the heat generated. Like your mobiles also, if you consider the mobiles, right. Next, Right. So that is the basic point you have to understand this particular example. Whenever you are having a this kind of rolling situation, I mean, whenever this kind of a heating situation, definitely we are using. The example is you can consider a mobile also. We are having cooling pads, and laptop also we are having a cooling pads. Whenever you are having a heat generated, all those things. Right. Next, the second question is, I hope the second question. So I have to. Right. So definitely I have to verify each and every question. Where is another question? One question is based on your heat generation. Second question, where it is? Just 1 minute. So rolling bearings have constant distances between rollers. Why it is make sound at high speeds? Okay. Next, already sliding friction have more friction. Okay. So I think I hope this question is already cleared. More friction. Next, radial contact bearing applications. Only these two questions you are having, right? All right. One more thing. Is this clear? Everything among remaining points? You please raise your hand if the remaining things are clear. Please raise your hand. I will explain the things in the coming, because you're having only 2 minutes. Okay, only 2 minutes. So in the next class, we have to discuss this point. Then only you have to move to the another point. No problem. Right? Okay. Is there any other doubt? You please post your question on this chart, but definitely I will solve those questions. No problem.
సార్ అటెండెన్స్ ఎలా సార్ ఇప్పుడు
సార్ ఎవరు లేరమ్మా?
ఎవరు లేరు సార్
సార్ ఎవరు రాలేదా?
నిన్నాడేమో 110 ఉన్నారు సార్ ఇప్పుడేమో 106 వచ్చారు సార్
106 స్క్రీన్ షాట్ తీసి నాకు పంపించమ్మా.
ఇది ఉంచారా సార్ అయితే ఇప్పుడు
స్క్రీన్ షాట్ తీసి పంపించు నాకు.
ఓకే సార్.
సార్ అంటే సిగ్నల్ లేకుండా మధ్యలో కట్ అయిపోయింది సార్, అందుకనే వెళ్ళిపోయారు.
No problem. Those who are having signal problem already we are having information. Just for cross checking only we are considering.
Sir, 110 screenshot ఉందంట కదా సార్, అది కన్సిడర్ చేయండి సార్.
Those who are peeping, leaving and entering, we are already having their what we call times. No problem. No problem. Right? So each and every student information is available. Just for cross checking only we are taking the attendance.
106 members తీసాను సార్ స్క్రీన్ షాట్ అయితే.
Okay amma. Okay. So I hope you understand amma this concept. And the next class, after solving of these questions, then we have to move to the what is the load carrying capacities and what is the load life rating of your bearings, and all those things will be discussed, right? So meanwhile you please go through the classifications, because it is small classifications, you can easily understand. No need to worry, right? If you have any doubt, you simply post your question, then I will explain. Okay ma, is it clear?
Yes sir.
Right.
Sir.
Thank you sir.
Right, Mr. Abhilash 49. If you have any question, you can raise, or you can post your question on your chat box. Abhilash. So let me see what is his question. Okay. No question is posted. So at least for Saturday class, Amma, you please try to bring your purchase your data book, or you can download, or whatever it is, whatever your means is, it's your choice, Amma. But you have to keep one data book with you. We will solve problems on sliding contact bearings and rolling contact bearings, Amma.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you sir. Thank you.